Alright, so hey, how's everybody doing? Today we're going to be taking a look at the EL34 EVH 5153. A lot of fucking numbers in this amp. Like, maybe they should just come up with different model names as they change the things. You know, EVH Stealth would have been fine. You don't need 5153 numbers. Maybe call this something else, because this one is definitely, it's nowhere near the same as this is an entirely different amp. It's not as tight. It's more open. It's almost like more vintage, more 80s. It's less modern, basically. This amp is not going to get you that tightness. I mean, you heard it in the mix. It's very JCM 800, kind of like a hot rodded JCM. So I did have the SD1 on. We were on the blue channel. Let's go ahead and turn the SD1 off. All right, so this is the blue channel, no boost. People complain about it because it's a darker, not as bright, aggressive as the other 5150, but that's what I like about this amp, because you can do a lot more vintage type guitar work. Now what's cool with this blue channel the way it is, it's cool the way the blue channel is, you can really like kind of fuzz it out for stoner doom. Pretty noisy. You know, if you don't want to kick on any fuzz, you can really get some classic rock tones. We're still on the blue channel. We are now on the red channel. The red channel on this I like better, because on the original 5150, well, what would you call it? The original EVH version of the 5150, 5153, again, this is why they need new names. The red channel was pretty much full up by 2 on the distortion, more than I'd ever use. I have this on about 3 right now. It does add a little bit more noise in, but what I dig about the EL34 is it has that kind of fizz you get from a JCM 800, for example. Alright, so I backed the gain down a little bit, and I also backed the lows down to kind of tighten it up. Another thing I like about this amp is you can get the kind of old school doom sound, or stuff like down, for example. or something like Candlemass. So if you're trying to play the more metallic side of Doom, this amp can really do it in a way that the other 5150 cannot. For me, it's all about the blue channel. Yeah, so if you're looking for like a stoner rock Doom amp, I would like to say I could suggest this, but I cannot. But if you're looking for something like a classic vibe from like early metal, like 80s metal, all the way up to more modern metal, but not quite as tight as the 6L6 version, this is not a bad way to go. But if you're wanting tight aggression, then this is definitely not the way to go. So this amp kind of sits in a weird area. Like it straddles the fence of, do you want to be a high gain 5150, 6L6, or do you want to be a Marshall? And it never really like, it just kind of sits in between those. It doesn't really do either one as well as the amps that it's kind of being like, you know what I'm saying? So don't know if it's going to stick around, but it's cool. It's fun to play with for a little bit. I'll see you guys in the next video.